Hello everyone, I recently saw online an article that, spoiler alert, caught my attention. The title of the article was more or less, "These photos of kids in their bedrooms will blow your mind." Quick aside, if your article's title contains the phrase, "will blow your mind," I will have ridiculously high expectations. Not sure this article met those expectations. Basically what the article amounted to be was a series of photographs of children, mostly boys, in their bedrooms to show their socioeconomic status. And for the first 6 seconds I thought, those are nice photos. Then I stopped and started thinking, so what's the point to all this? The overall feel of the article seemed to be to highlight the difference of wealth of different families in the world, and the portfolio was definitely heavy on children from poorer conditions. And of course, I'm all for raising awareness of world suck and fighting to decrease it. But I personally tend to get a little wary when I feel like I'm being outright guilted into doing something. And I feel like the article's sole purpose was for me to feel sorry for the boy sleeping on the cot. But just feeling sorry really doesn't solve anything. I think a better way to help these people is to first, yes, get me to sympathize with them, but afterward get me excited about helping them. But really the bigger problem I had with this article was the dehumanization that these children suffered in the article. With the photos were posted their first names, their ages, and where they were from. No biographies, no personal stories, nothing that really made me feel like I had a personal connection with them. And although I felt like it worked as a very beautiful art portfolio, as a humanitarian effort, I feel like it left a lot to be desired. I personally just always feel a little uncomfortable when people are reduced to nothing more than symbols of poverty. Now, I lived in Brazil for a couple years, and I actually know a lot of people who live in these famous favelas, the Brazilian slums. And indeed, this article featured a photo of a child living in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro. But to be frank, while living in Brazil, the thing that surprised me the most was how much I had in common with the Brazilians, rich or poor. And more importantly, how much the Brazilians, rich or poor, had in common. Sometimes I have this impression that we feel like the poor of the earth just sit around in the mud and look sad. They don't. They have lives and friends and dreams and go to burger joints and hang out. I feel like when you dehumanize a child to be nothing more than a sad face in a shabby room, you ultimately lose a great power that you could utilize to help make the world more awesome. Dehumanizing impoverished individuals separates us from them, but we need to unify if we really want to help them. Instead of portraying them as these faraway people that we should pity, we need to portray them as our brothers and sisters that need our help now. The more I travel and meet new people, the more I realize we're all much more the same than we are different. And that's how I personally feel that we should think about those less fortunate than us. But how do you guys feel about these types of articles and advertisements? Do you feel that playing solely off of guilt is the most effective way to garner support for charities? And of course, these are not rhetorical questions, so let's talk about them in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon.